It's 5:47, week number 7. So, lots of little things this week, and then one big preparation with your final brain compatibility unit to do at the end of week 8. So, let's go through this in order. You have a handful of articles and videos. Um, a couple quick things. That first article you have looks at the decline of play and rise in children's mental disorders. Two things for that. First, make sure that you are aware of Global School Play Day. A good friend, Scott Bedley, started this about 5 years ago now. It actually just wrapped up a few weeks ago. Um, but the whole movement to get students to have unstructured play. Unstructured means that adults don't structure it, right? So even in the classroom setting, being able to just give students the day to play on their own is powerful. I would also add Scott's biggest takeaway as a fifth grade teacher. I got together with maybe 3 other people to organize Global School Play Day. His biggest takeaway is actually it's been the best thing for anecdotal notes around his students. So, like, to simplify it the most, for report cards, he has like great narratives, right? Like, really understand students and how they interact. But really, like, he really gets to know his students, is able to see where the gaps are, and then what he can do, whether it's academic, but often much more around social emotional learning to support his students. So it's good stuff. If you don't know about it, now you do. Globalschoolplayday.com is the link. The other piece to that is just, as we are living through and working as educators through a global pandemic that is just now hitting the 1 year anniversary of kind of shutting down the world. I don't want to say take this with a grain of salt, but just, know that yes, the decline of play is there. And, you know, the rise of a virus that has killed hundreds of thousands of people is also there. So as you read this, definitely don't feel a pressure if you have your own immediate family members that are not playing as much as one would hope, like mine, but also your own students that just play looks very, very different while we have students that are not vaccinated, and nearly all of our teachers are also not vaccinated. So anyway, just keep that in mind, and definitely do not read into this or go hard on yourself because of where we are in the world right now. So there's a handful of smaller articles and videos. You have a discussion board prompt. The first one looks at habits of mind. You're going to talk about a way you can incorporate one of those into either your teaching or your current role as an educator. As a reminder, initial post by Thursday, 2 more replies by Sunday. Your last week's posts were fantastic, so keep those up. Great job also adding a citation to it. And yeah, the second one is going to be sharing your arts and movement project from week 6. If you want to share that, you can give some feedback, share the work you've been doing. The last big thing coming up that you definitely want to look ahead for this week is the brain compatible unit. Now, this is due the end of week 8. The end of week 8 is a Friday. For you, it's Friday, March 5th. So before midnight on that Friday night, your brain compatibility week is due. Handful of important things. If you scroll down to the bottom of that Google Doc that walks you through the assignment, you have 2 samples that are incredibly useful. If you're not quite sure what to do, start by reading through both of those, and you'll have a much better understanding of what this brain compatible unit is. The biggest thing for you is that you're not writing out lesson plans for me to grade, right? You're going to give us the principles, the strategies. You're going to develop the unit of what your students will be doing, of what the teacher will be doing with it. Continue uploading a PDF or a Word doc. Please do not link in Google Docs. Everyone's been doing a fantastic job with that. Continue doing that. Also know that this is a signature assignment, so this is a big deal. If you don't know what that is, it's section N of your MAED course policies. Take a look at that. You'll see how that fits in. And the last big thing I'm going to share with you is just make sure you're looking at the rubric. make sure you've addressed each bit. There have been a few cases this quarter where a couple of pieces just were left out. Like the paper makes sense as a whole, but as I'm looking at the rubric and what was submitted, I'm like, this wasn't even mentioned. So please, please, please double check the rubric as you write your paper. When I was in grad school, I would actually use the rubric to write my paper. And that certainly makes it easy to grade. So that's always a good thing. Again, that's not due week 7, but that is due week 8, which ends on a Friday, March 5th. So that is all. The last thing I have for you in this video, if you are not getting excited about Spring Q, this is the moment to do it. CUE.org, q.org /spring maybe? Let's try that together. q.org/spring used to be the URL. Yeah, it is. That'll redirect to Cvent. That's their online portal for Spring Q. So yeah, if you're not attending Spring Q, that's coming up March 18th. Been meeting with the humans that are helping out with Q Live. There's going to be a lot of fantastic interviews, mostly over the weekend. So it'll be an extraordinary conference if you're looking to up both your ed tech skills, but also get to be a more connected educator. Spring Q is an extraordinary place to be with some great educators. There's also a handful of like kind of hangout times. So if you've not attended a Q conference, first time can definitely be overwhelming. You're always welcome to come hang out with me. We can grab a meal at some point when humans do that again. But just going to hang out, wow, this sounds so different now, like pandemic way, like looking at it the other way. Going to a conference with like 6,000 people would feel overwhelming. For me, I used to love it. Like it was one of my favorite things to do as an educator, period, as a human. Like, and now I'm just feeling quite a bit of anxiety around it for a whole different reason, about not, getting sick. So at some point we will be safe. We can hang out together at a Q conference in person. That would be cool. That'd be super cool. That's also one of my favorite things, is to actually get to meet some of you at a conference. Be like, oh my gosh, we're in 547. No way. That would be fun. Let's do that at some point, shall we? I would like that. In the meantime, not only if you've not been to a conference, it's overwhelming because of, a virus, but it's overwhelming just because there's so many people and so many sessions, and probably most of those 6,000 people you don't know, and that's a lot to take in. The virtual conference is a great way to just kind of dip your toe in the water, like go to some sessions, hang out with some people. There's some evening events, like a trivia night that, as far as like getting in and starting to get to know some of the educators in California that are doing particularly innovative things around technology in the classroom, this was like a really, really cool way to start to get connected with some of those. Play trivia, you hop on a Zoom call. It's not like you have to go to ballroom A and you're like, you walk in, and for me, I've always felt like it's like a weird like middle school or high school dance. Like, who am I gonna know? And they'll know other people, and I, just be like awkward. And this, you just hop on a Zoom call and like chat in the chat, So if you're like, not feeling it so much, take a look at the virtual Spring Q 2021 conference. I'm going to be super involved with Q Lives. You'll probably see me if you're following Q on Facebook, or Twitter, as my mom calls it, the Twitters. You can call it that too. They're also going to be posting videos on YouTube. So lots of cool interviews, lots of great humans, phenomenal presentations set up. The featured speakers are going to be amazing. Keynotes will be great. It's going to be a good conference. So I encourage you to take a look. It's not connected directly with 547. Our course will already be over by the time the conference happens. But yeah, check it out. It's worth checking out. So with that, happy week 7 for 547, and see you soon.